Good day, Tamers. Let me know if it's too loud. I'm sure somebody will turn up and be like, "Oh, Guido, on a Sunday, doing the no, not doing the Lord's work. Do Yggdrasil's work, causing chaos." Which is kind of funny that the first two cards in this set are BT13 cards that get reprints technically. If there is any reverb, please let me know. Or if there's any double sound, please let me know, because I'll figure something out in the background. As far as I'm aware, I sneeze in a second, this should only be my voice. He says. You may also hear children's voices, as it's a Sunday and it's also half term. So, I will try and bring you some gameplay between me and Mr. Swiftly, but for now, it's just going to be me, you, and children yelling at each other. So, let's get into this quickly. We are going to discuss a few things here. We're going to look at the BT21 cards. We're going to look at ST20, ST21, and the promotional cards for both of those structure decks. That being said, new Good Card, Bad Card did come out today. If you guys haven't seen it yet, go watch it. It's about analog use. You either love it or hate it. It's the Marmite Digimon card game. I personally like it. Same with Marmite. Replay hates it, so he must hate Marmite in that sense. But yeah, let's just jump into this. So a card that definitely needed a reprint because this was getting some good value for money at the end. Before we knew this was coming out, I think it was like £30 for the base rarity. 70 something plus pounds for the alt art, which still probably one of my favourite styles of alternate art, but unfortunately I'm not paying £70 for the alt art, even though I love Gallant Money is my boy. But this is where we are now. I'm still not sure on the art itself. I know it's meant to be the menacing looking down at you style of artwork, but it's like he's contorted his head back rather than he's looking down at you. So, for those of you wondering, this I believe is one of the reprints we're meant to be getting. It's in here as a box topper, I believe. I think some of the other box toppers aren't actually in this reveal. They might come at a later date, but we needed the Gallant Mon. Gallant Mon's really good. He's one of the alternate arts, I think, for LM5, and the LM5 cards are in this set. He's an alternate art. I think there's a second alternate art, and then we also go through the LM cards later on at the end of this set as well. So, let me just put the actual stream on and see if there's anyone here chatting at me. Currently, no one here, which is fine by me, because this will be going up live on YouTube probably tomorrow when it's all back-ended. But, yeah, Gallant Mon with Rush can reduce its play cost by 2 for every total 5 cards in both players' trashes. Makes it a very good as a finishing card. Makes it a very interesting card in decks like Royal Knights, in Gallant Mon itself, in Megidra, in anything that's going to have a lot of trash in it and you just want a finisher. I think we saw a couple of people with purple hybrid playing this as like a one-off, just like sod it, game, go. Fairly good card. On play, when Digimon attacking, delete one of your opponent's 6000 DP or lower. If this didn't delete one of their 17 DP or higher. If it didn't, and obviously that's on play and when Digivolving and when attacking, and it's not once per turn. So on play, cost 0 or cost 1, whatever. Swing to rush and then attack again, try and pop a swing else. So pretty darn good. Obviously in the Gallant Mon decks this was played in at the time. You can modulate the DP a little bit more, so you can go up to like pop 11k, or if not, pop like 19 plus, which has come up occasionally in fights and stuff. Also, apologies if there's an echo. I've put the game to max because I'm having a lot of issues where it's just like being really quiet. I can just turn down the gain a little bit if it's too loud for you guys, but we'll try from there in the back end. Well, moving on to Gallant Mon. This is meant to be 350. This is all over the English-speaking world. I don't think there's anything in Japan getting 350. I don't know if it's been said if we're getting 350, if China's getting 350, if Japan's getting 350. All we know is that we're getting 350. I like this in the middle because obviously it's a combined of the two megas, but it's also the BT13 one. Technically a reprint. I think we could do with a proper reprint for this card, but it's kind of kept its value basically since BT13 came out, so it's still like a 20-ish pound secret rare. So for those who want to play this, do. Although I'm hearing from a lot of people that they're only like playing like 1 or 2 of these now because the new X Antibody Omnimon is just that good. Like you can just ignore this guy. Pattermon! One of the alternates that was in LM5, I think. BT14. I'm not sure if they just wanted to put like a rookie in here, or if it's because like they sometimes make them match. I don't think Patamon was desperately needed as a reprint, but the art's nice. It's got all the other little yellow and purple and green Tamers in here that you kind of see around this sort of area. So yeah, it's nice to see. They're all like the holy beasts, because it's obviously Safage, Afani, Cherubi, and Dominimon's rookie, I think it is. So that's meant to be more of like, hey, this is for the vaccine deck. It's for the Free Grey Angels. Andrew Woman Ace BT15. I've not really kept an eye on this. I know it was a relatively costly SR for a while. I know it was like £8 to like £15 at one point. So the preprint makes sense of this. You obviously play it in a few different decks. You play it in Master, you play it in Vaccine Control, you play it in Free Grey Angels, you play it in Dimini Control. So it makes sense. Like, you know, you're going to be playing this in those decks, and it makes sense to have one. Obviously, it's an ace card, so you need to be careful with the aces, but with Diminimon, you can, you know, manipulate the game, so you don't have to worry about being an ace. But it was within reason a needed reprint. We do have some of the signature cards here. We didn't need you, we just got an alt art of this. I like the other alt art. This is fine. It's got that kind of like menacing, like I'm going to come get you kind of style. No, it's BT17. No, we need this one in alt art. So yeah, the one of that you play, you've got the alt art now. It's fine. It's an okay card. Lanamon having an alt art, which I think is really cool. I don't know how it worked, and it's my boy Toonami. So I don't know if Toonami was like, man, I just like Lanamon. She's just a cool Digimon. Can I draw Toonami? Can I draw Lanamon? And he's like, yeah, sure, do what you like. Or if they were just given it. And it's like, I wish Toonami did one of the other arts. It's a really good art. Like, don't get me wrong. It's amazing because all his art is really good. It's got that like fluid manga style art. And it's fine, I guess. But I would have preferred it for something else. But no, I like this. Then we get into the Digimon. Gigimon. He's also for the reptiles, the dark dragons, the dangerous dragons, and everything else. Super cool card. If your opponent's security stack is removed from one of your Digimon, made you evolve into a Digimon card with a reptile or Digimon trait in hand with the Digivolution cost reduced by 1. Deck just goes time to pop off. It's really good. It's such a good deck. Good reminder when attacking was returned, if this Digimon has Go on its text or hero trait, draw 1, which is fine for both the hero deck and for new Galmon stuff, because it's going to be that those decks. I'm not sure what they were running beforehand, but just when attacking, draw a card rather than having to like do an action and gain a response. Obviously, it's a pain in the butt. Yokomon, your turn was returned when any of your Winged Guardian traded Digimon are played, draw 1, which is fine. I hate the fact that Yokomon basically just becomes like the baby of all these goddamn weird decks. Oh, you're a seabird. Yokomon. Oh, you're a Wind Guardian. Yokomon. Oh, you're this. Yokomon. It makes sense because Yokomon is Biyumon's, and Biyumon is a Wind Guardian, I believe. Kurumon! Your turn was returned when any of your yellow or red Tamers suspend, draw a card, which happens like this deck and is forced by some of your Digimon in the new deck, so makes sense. Schweipin or Schweipin. Your turn was returned when this Digimon gets linked, draw 1. Change over recurrence, I'm down for that. That makes sense to me because, you know, I'm going to spend a card, I get a card back, so you're not constantly just having like an empty hand. Sudimon returns when this Digimon has with 4 or more Venmon Digivolve card. The last dragon. All inherited. All turns. This Digimon with 4 or more Venmon. Vim. I'm on coffee. So 2:30 in the afternoon. Let's try this again. Sudimon. Inherited effect. All turns. This Digimon with 4 or more Venmon Digivolution cards gets 3000 DP plus. Pretty good. It's a good threshold for DP. Then we have our first card. A lot of people, including myself, was like, oh yeah, we're going to get a purple baby, right? We'll get a purple baby. It makes sense. No. No, he's got 2 red ones instead. On play, you may return 1 Digimon card with the reptile or dragonkin trait from the trash to hand. This Digimon gets 2000 DP when swinging. That's fine. I have since gone back and like reworked the dragonkin slash reptile deck, so that will probably come on the channel eventually if I do win something with it, or do well with it, or do tournaments. I'm only probably doing like 3 or 4 tournaments the whole year, maybe some online stuff because obviously it's not so bad now at home, but yeah, it's gonna be weird. Elysamon. On play, reveal top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with the Reptile or Dragonkin trait and 1 card with the Liberator trait amongst them to the hand. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck. And then your turn, when the security is removed, gain a memory. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Your Searcher. Searches both traits and Liberator, which means you're going to be getting a lot of different cards in here. I have seen people trying to force just other Liberator stuff in here, which is fine. It makes sense. And then the beautiful little Altars with all her forms. I know it's a reptile, which still makes you think it's a dragon. But no, I like the idea of this, that it goes from a lizard reptile into just, you know, quadrupedal, monopedal. I think she's also just got a tail, so monopedal again. But yeah, dragons. Gachamon. Not much I really know about Gachamon in terms of like Appimon. I'm not really around during that period of time. I remember like one really bored day, I watched all of X-Cross because I hadn't watched Digimon for like a decade or something at that point. I was like, yeah, I'll just watch it all. But never got into the Appmon stuff. Your turn, once per turn, when this Digimon gets linked, if you have 1 or fewer Tamers, you may play 1 Haru from the hand up paying the cost. I like this level 3, which means you can do this on turn 1 and then maybe do a Searcher or whatever on like to push your turn over. And then you just link and go, okay, put a Tamer out, and then following turn, if it stays alive, link again. I like that. I think it's an interesting thing. And then the nice alternate art here for Gachamon, which is actually quite cool. Agumon, Vmon. That's a Doramon. Where's Guilmon, you bums? We have Gamamon. Your turn, where you have 2 or fewer security cards, or 3 or more hero trait Tamers with different names. This Digimon may digivolve into a serious mon in the hand for a digivolution cost of 4, ignoring digivolution requirements. I know he's the hero, like Warper, and like it makes sense in the hero deck where you do like this weird build where you're just throwing all the different Tamers in and you're just trying to make something work. But it kind of sucks. I don't like this. I don't like they did Apple Gammon Day. I mean, it's a reverse Bonzov. So, you know, he's like, oh, there's 2 or less, I can just warp Digivolve. And that's fine, because you need to look at warping occasionally. He's fine. Probably like a 2 of in the deck, but he's fine. Shoutmon, your turn. When this Digimon will Digivolve into a Digimon card with the X-Cross or Hero trait, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1, and then deletion save. And gains rush, you've got X-Cross in its traits. Part of me is like happy he doesn't have Hero in the inherited bit, but at the same time it's like I feel like you should probably push for that, just for how this deck wants to work. It's okay having all these extra hero parts, but like you're not using them, they don't really do much. Flamemon main, by suspending this Tamer, you may play 1 red Tamer card with the inherited effect from your hand without paying the cost if you did place this Digimon under that Tamer. This is fine. Oh god. And the reason why this is fine is because it just makes your turn 2 more explosive if you got, because if you're probably playing like 2 of these in the deck. Probably could play 3. I don't think you play 4. I think 4's too many. I think you probably play 2, maybe 3, and then as people have been saying, this is an Emperor Greymon build, so you want to go like, okay, I need to get the BT21 ones down. If you got 1 or 2 of those in your hand, fine. You know, slam it down turn 1. Opponent's very unlikely to remove it unless they just want to throw down a big body because they don't understand what the game plan is. You know, you get your Tamer out for 3 in that turn, and then you just go, 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 go. Tamer removal is obviously still very hard in this game, so it's not something you have to worry about too much, he says. Agumon, when Digivolve, you may place 1 hybrid or hero traded Digimon card from your hand or trash as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution card, or any of your red Tamers with inherited effects. This to me is like a very good card in that sense because you want to try and build up 5 cards under your Tamer as quick as possible. So if you already have I don't know, let's say 4 under there, and then you just Digivolve into this, or you do to a secondary Tamer. It's pretty good. When attacking, this Digimon may Digivolve into a red hybrid or hero trait Digimon card in the hand with reduced cost of 1. Perfectly fine. I think if you use this in conjunction with BT4, you basically just digivolve for 1, right? But you're not going to do that, it's terrible. But you could. You could. Burning Greymon on play when digivolving. This Digimon gains piercing and 3000 DP for the turn. Hold on, does he have raid? If he had raid, it'd be great. Because then you just digivolve up into Burning Greymon for 0, and then you just pierce whatever you raided into. Do you have a Tamer that has raid inherited? Not now. Your turn, when your opponent's security stack is removed from this Digimon, may digivolve into a level 5 Digimon card with the hybrid trait in the hand, with the cost reduced by 1. That's fine. Cyclonemon. I like this. I think a lot of people have realised like he's not your 4 of in the deck. He's going to be your second. He's going to be your tertiary. He's going to be your 2 of in the deck if you're going to run 10 level 4s, which some people do, some people don't. But he's okay. Like he's not amazing, but he is okay. Chapman King, raid and piercing. You may place 1 Digimon card with the cross hearts or blue flare or hero traits from the hand or trash under any of your Tamers and save. Also considered a Sharpman for crossing and stuff. And then yeah, on play you can put 1 Digimon with the X cross underneath him to reduce the cost by 1. And then your turn, this Digimon gets 2000 DP. It's a decent piece. Like if you can raid into something that's like 4000 DP and you get the piercing effect and you don't die, it's not bad. Like it's not bad at all. And then we have Dimitramon, which, in my opinion, like super cool Digimon. I love the style of it. I love dinosaur-looking things. Reptiles are really cool. Dragonkins are also good with me. When digivolving, if you have 1 or fewer Tamers, you may place 1 Owen from your hand without paying the cost. And this deck's super fun because you kind of just want to have 1 of each Owen down if you can. So that way you've got your end of turn swing with piercing, and then you got the other one, which I think is when you attack, you can pop like a 4000 DP body or something like that. Which now we understand is basically to pop the token. So I like that. Do gotcha, level 4. Can do this to outfuse. If 2 such cards are linked together, stack the link card on top and then digivolve, rush and raid. Your turn was returned. When this Digimon gets linked, you may attack. Like that's just a cool, just like, oh no, I'm going to pass turn anyway, swing. Pseudo swings are always good. When linking this Digimon may attack. Awesome, yeah. No, that's the issues with this. I find it frustrating it's green and red. Other than that, I think it's just trying to like fill out the colour pie. But it's fine. Betogamon, when digivolving, if you have 1 or fewer Tamers, you may play 1 hero from the hand without paying the cost. Tamer set is always great, especially in a deck that needs them. Aldermon, when any of your Digimon with the Aguni or Burning Greymon in their digivolving cards would digivolve into this card from the hand, reduce the cost by 1. So if you're going from burning into this, you are just paying 2, which isn't awful, but it's still 2. And security attack plus 1 on deletion, you may play 1 red Tamer card with the inherited effect from your hand or trash without paying the cost. Depending on the situation, you might just want to digivolve into this anyway if you know you're going to die, just so that we can get the deletion effect off and just, you know, have fun with more Tamers. Oh, I apologise. Need more coffee. Then on deletion, inheritance effect, you may play 1 red Tamer card with inheritance effects from the hand or trash without paying the cost. I mean, to be fair, with how you want to play this probably build of red hybrid, you just want to attack as much as possible. So you just want to bring back what you've just probably put in the bin. Just recur. Omni Shout. If this card is treated as Shoutmon for Digicrossing and attack, you may play 1 card with the Crossheart, Blue Flare, or Hero trait from the hand with the play cost reduced by 5. If you did, delete Digimon. Which could be Shout, King, and then you just put another Shoutmon with haste underneath it. Brush, and then just like swing again. On deletion, you may place 1 Digimon card with the Crosshearts, Blue Flare from hand or trash under new Tamers and save. So like it's pretty damn good, to be fair. Like there's no issues with this, and then obviously he also has the brush as well. Kanuis on play when digivolving by placing 1 Digimon card with the Gammamon in its text from the hand as this Digimon's bottom digivolution card. Delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon with 7000 DP or less. Effect all turns when this Digimon with Gammamon in its text would leave the battle area by your opponent's effects by trashing 3 Digivolution cards from the 3 different Digimon from the Digivolution cards. It doesn't leave, which is nice. It's also once per turn, which means like it's not just for infinite protection if you've just got sources. I like there's like a consequence to having to do things. I always feel like the old protection from Metal Greymon and where Garurumon was always a bit too easy. Oh no, you have 3 chances of not being removed from the field, and that's never feels good. Gloomon! Script +1. On play, when Digivolving, you may link 1 level 4 or lower Digimon card from your hand to this Digimon's solution cards to this Digimon without paying the cost. Yeah, it's super straightforward. Your turn once per turn. When this Digimon gets linked, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with as much or less DP as this Digimon. It's 10,000. There's a few different Digimon that will link to this to give it like this, for instance. If you can just put this together, it's going to link for 4,000, so it's 14k. It's gonna be tough to like beat this down. So just make sure my audio was actually working. And then when linked, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with as much or less. Yeah, like it's just basically your DPS / control tool. And then Globe on having this sexy ult is great, man. I always love like expressionable ults. It's either attacking animation ults or like very expressive. The determination. I can't lose. Cyberjure on play when Digivolving. If your opponent has 5 or fewer security cards, they place 1 card from their hand as the top. Sorry, 1 security card and they trash the top. A lot of people are like, oh no, they're going to like put a security bomb in there. The only thing this deck cares about in security is things that are bigger than them, because you don't care otherwise, because progress goes, oh, no, I don't care. And you gain 4,000 DP. And that's the thing, like this deck just gains like DP out the ass. So it's like, oh no, I am 27k. Hope there's not a big body. Oh, there's not. There's no Digimon in that security that can stop me. Lalmon, such a cool Digimon. Progress while attacking your opponent's effects don't affect this Digimon. Oh no, not the security cards. This might get limited. I think this and Medusa might get limited in the future because progress is such an egregious term, especially if your DP is always high. Your turn was turn when any of your Reptile or Dragonkin trait Digimon attack targets change, trash your opponent's top security. Obviously, went over it in the video. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Flame Dramon's a Dragonkin, so when he raids into things, he pops security and stuff. It's just like, yeah, man, just pop 2 security instead. Give 1 back, pop another 1. It's really good. Like the deck just says like, I don't care. We're taking down security. Then when your opponent's security is moved from, you may play 1 Reptile or Dragonkin trait Digimon card with 5,000 DP or less from the hand without paying the cost. It's really awkward because I don't know this. If you have the baby in this, you can Digivolve up into Medusa, but you kind of also just want to make sure that you always have the ability to just use this effect. It's just so good. War Greymon. When this card will be played, reduce the play cost by 2 for each of your opponent's Digimon, and this is gonna be like a really good card in a very wide format board. Digimon wide format, not like Tamer wide format, which makes him like cool but not like ideal, and that's gonna be the issue I think a lot of people are gonna find. Like people generally play like up to like 2 or 3 Digimon, and having him reduced down to like 5 play cost isn't bad, and because he has rush, you know, you can abuse the Owen effect to just make him swing. He also has raid as well, because like, why not? Then when any of your opponent's Digimon delete this Digimon, you spend, and that's the reason like where people are like, why does he have blocker? It's because the idea is that you use him at the end of turn. Owen makes him swing. He swings with piercing and raid. He pierces and raids through something. It kills your opponent's Digimon, and then he unsuspends. So he's got blocker for the following turn. Shaman DX always looks like a cool Digimon. I like the fact that Zeke is like super gold. This guy's always treated as Omni Shout or Z Greymon for Digicrosses. It cancels both, yeah. So if it says like he needs both, he goes 1 card. Screw attack +1. On play when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's lowest DP Digimon. All turns when this Digimon would leave the battle area, you may place up to 4 X-Cross or Blue Fluctuate Digimon cards from this Digimon card under one of your Tamers. And then reduced by 3 if you put this down here, so it can go down to 6 cost, I think it is. I'm happy. This is very cool. Then we have the new Sirius. A lot of people are saying like, can you play the Ace now? Is the Ace better? And it's like, maybe. I don't know. Because you can play this ace, and you can also play. I don't think it's Regulus is the level 5, right? So you can also play like the evil level 6 version too, because they've both got aces. CS +1 plus raid when digivolving when attacking by placing one Digimon card with the Gammon in its text or hero trait from the hand. This Digimon's bottom illusion cards. Delete one of your opponent's lowest DP Digimon. So, if you didn't see the short for this, basically, you do the level 5. The level 5 makes itself explode. It dies, possibly taking down a body with it. Floats into the other level 5. Canoise, and then Canoise on play goes, no, pops in at 7,000 or less, and then you go into this, and then he goes like, no, destroy whatever's low as now. So, it's a really good way to just flow into like destruction constantly against your opponent. Medusamon, everyone's favourite new waifu, as people are saying. I don't like the term waifu, but it's what's been getting used. I think she's just very cool. I like the Gorgon's eye, although I wish it was a lot brighter, like so it was more menacing. Security +1, progress while attacking your opponent's effects don't affect this Digimon. Yes, that includes security effect. It's really good. When Digivolving, end of turn. Obviously, security effects that don't officially affect you as a Digimon are fine. So things like security, play a Tamer, security, play a Digimon out. They don't activate. They activate still, but if they have a secondary effect that says, "Oh, when unplayed, they do X, Y, Z," because it doesn't stop. When Digivolving in turn, once per turn, you may delete one of your opponent's lowest DP Digimon, and then all turns once per turn, when any of your opponent's Digimon are deleted or the security stack is removed from, you may play one purification token. Your turn, this Digimon can't suspend, and then on deletion, trash your top security. Obviously, the idea of this is that you just everything's just popping. The English alt has a very Magic the Gathering vibe to me. I don't know if anyone has like any other opinions like card games, but that's the style I feel this gives. And then the SP, which is just a nice sort of casual like avatar portrait. You get like some of the Japanese style like RPGs where it's just like, oh yeah, it's a full character model. This is what the character looks like. But no, this looks really cool. I've lost my mouse. I lost the mouse. There it is. Snake got the mouse. And then our last red card at BT2130 is Shout Mode X7 Superior Mode, and then when this card would be played by placing one of your Shout Mode under it, reduce the play cost by 1, and then cards in your trash may also be placed on this. So the idea is basically if your opponent is playing Mill Out and you just have this in your hand, you're just so lucky to have a Shout Mode, you just go sod it, go. Cost 0. Let's play the game. On play when Digivolving, trash the top 10 stacked cards of one of your opponent's Digimon. I did a short of this where it's just Ichigo slicing through Grimjow. And it's all the cards just falling off of him. This can digivolve you down to an option card. This can digivolve you down to a baby. This can digivolve you down to a tamer. The reason why this is in brackets is so good is because it's not digivolve, so it can just take you to where it wants you to go. So you can go, how many cards do you have before you hit your rookie? And you go like 5. So 6, because you got the baby, yeah? Alright, take off 6. Oh no. It's the baby! And the baby just disappears into nothingness. When attacking once per turn, you may return one of your opponent's Digimon with no division cards to the bottom of the deck. And that's the other thing. The idea of this is that you're just stripping your opponent's stuff down to nothing. So if it is something that, you know, a DNA deck, for instance, might have 11 cards, well, whatever that level 3 is just goes to the trash. Goes to the bottom of the deck. And the infinite amount of Digimon cards with the X-Cross or Blue Flare trait and at different card numbers. Sangomon! When this card would digivolve into a Digimon with the Mollusk or Aqua trait, reduce the division cost by 1, and the end of attack, gain 1 memory, which is like what they do. Oh, we've done a good card, bad card about this. It's coming out in probably about 2 weeks. When this Digimon would digivolve into a Digimon card with the armor form or hero trait, reduce the division cost by 1. It's not once per turn. The deck wants you to basically keep going back in and out of this Digimon. It's going to be absolute fun for those who want to play armor. Flora, on play with the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with the Avian or Bird in its traits, and 1 with the Wind Guardian trait amongst them to the hand, return the rest of the bottom of the deck, and then it has jamming. This I could probably see making some headwaves in the Dragon Bird deck, because obviously they're still dragons, they're birds, and they're also aquatics. So maybe this could turn up in there as like a little fun thing on the side. Oh yeah, you are common. Excuse me. Oh, I was so tired. All turns when this Digimon suspend, draw once. That's great. So if it makes you, it's obviously if it gets suspended or it's got the ability to block, it's great that it just has the ability to just sod it. I got suspended, so I'm drawing a card. Flame Dramon, Armor Purge. When Digivolving, it gets 2000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn. So that's great. So it gets to 8k, and then your turn must return when this Digimon attacks, targets changes this Digimon and suspends. The fun thing about this Digimon is this Digimon means the stack, which means that you have 2000 DP continuously. So let's just say for whatever reason you go, alright, I'm going to go into Vmon jamming. Jamming goes into this. This swings. It gets blocked. It survives. It swings again. It dies to a security check. It goes back down to the Vmon. That Vmon still has 2000 extra DP. You go into your next thing. Digivolve again. You have 2000 DP already, plus what any other effects will give you. So it's not common. Very interesting card to use if you are doing like a pure armor rush deck rather than like a Magna Force rush deck. It's going to be a very good card. New Magnamon, blocker, Arm Purge. When Digivolving this Digimon and suspends, then one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn for each card with the armor form trait in the trash. Super good. The fact that it's for the turn is really good. I hate the fact that this is just like DP minus, especially for yellow cards. It's just like forever and a day. Just you've always got DP minus. Like you'll never survive. I'm just glad that this is a bit more fair. The fact that it's like the original Magnamon and it just unsuspends, I think is also really good. It's also a rare though, so you can't play it in pauper format. But hey, if you got all the other ones that can, it's not so bad. I'm down with it. It's gonna be a 2-cost on that Vmon, 2-cost from the promo Vmon. Gaining any other effects from the other Digimon that Digivolve before it is also really cool. And no, I think it's really good. I think it's a really good Digimon. And you've already seen my version for this deck. Lydramon. Lydramon, that should have been the original Lydramon, that's now the new Lydramon, because it's literally Lightning Blade plus the old Lydramon. And this is what you get. Piercing, Armor Purge. When Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then this Digimon gets 2000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn. Yeah, so the weird combo I think with this deck is you Digivolve into this first, suspend something, and then you go up into Flame Dramon and you try and make your opponent like dip and dodge around things. It's like, oh, block with the other thing, that's fine, and suspend. Because this one gives you 2000 DP. So your other Flame Dramon can be like 10k plus whatever the inherited effects. So you get like a 12k ride. God damn it, 12k Flame Dramon. Or vice versa. Could be a 12k larger one. But yeah, I quite like it. Daramon. Evade. On play, when Digivolving, one of your Digimon with the Wind Guardian trait may unsuspend. I mean, yeah, if you suspended your Bird Boy for whatever reason, then you Digivolve up into it and you get to unsuspend. It's pretty cool. Griffinmon. Alliance. When Digivolving, you may play one level 4 or lower Digimon card with the Wind Guardian trait from the hand without paying the cost. And then when attacking on turn, one of your other Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card with the Wind Guardian trait in the hand without paying the cost. I think the reason why you do this is that you do Kiwi first, suspend Kiwi on the Alliance trigger, and then you Digivolve into Dera and unsuspend, so that way you got yourself an extra attack if you still have memory, which you should do, because I think there's any like end of turn attacks with this deck. Agumon with the punchy gloves, he's a friend called Agumon. Your turn, or your opponent has a level 6 or higher Digimon, or you have 3 or more hero trait tamers with different names. This Digimon Digivolve will show Gremlin in the hand for a Digivolve cost of 4, ignoring the requirements. Like, he's okay. Like, I think if you're going to play a Shine deck, like, he's not terrible. Like, you probably would play this as, like, a 2 of, or 1 of, just for the sake of, like, I've got some reoccurrence if I need to. But he's not bad. He's just not got, like, a super amazing effect. Like, hero deck may be better, but I don't know. Calendarmon. Security at the end of battle, you may play this card by paying the cost, and then all turns, all of your opponent's security Digimon get minus 3000 DP, which isn't nothing, to be fair. As a link effect. New Geogramon, all turns will turn when any of your Marcus Daemons are played. This Digimon may digivolve into a yellow Digimon card with Rise Greymon in its name in the hand of a paying the cost. Did a short on this. There is some very interesting ways about this card. It's very good. And it can be quite interesting turn 2, because I think on turn 2 you can go from 2 Geogramons on no. Turn 2 you can go from having this Geogramon and another Agumon, and then digivolving the other Agumon into a play Geogramon, and then from there you can just, for the cost of like 2, digivolve into a Shine Greymon. It's very, very, very aggressive. We'll see if it sees much play. So Shiamon! Security at the end of battle, you play without paying the cost, and then one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2,000 DP until the end of the turn. Then when linking, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2,000 DP until the end of the turn. Yeah, straightforward. And then Rise Greymon. On play when digivolving for the turn, one of your Marcus Daemons is also treated as a 3,000 DP Digimon, can't digivolve and gains Rush and Alliance, and then one of your Digimon may attack. And this is what you do basically. You play the one that says when it suspends, digivolve into this one, that one. It digivolves, and then give the alliance to the one you just played, and it swings, and obviously roundabouts we go. Then also when any of your yellow or red Tamers are deleted, you may place one Marcus Daemon from the top of the trash, to the top of the security, and then same thing here is the inherit effect, which seems to be the standard for Rise Greymon since like BT12, I think it was BT12, BT13, possibly EX4, and then like this one. They've all had like the same inherited effect. And then the new Shine has Raid. When digivolving and attacking once per turn, you may delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 9,000 DP or less. Then when attacking once per turn by suspending one of your yellow Tamers or red Tamers. This Digimon gains security attack +1 and an extra 3,000 DP. So it's a 15k, hits for 2. I think the new Marcus gives piercing maybe. So we're there. Woo! More X antibody Digimon. Everyone's favourite line. Start of your main phase. When digivolving, this Digimon may digivolve into a Quadramon in the hand without paying the cost. That's awesome. So obviously this is a case of like if you have to play this onto a baby or something turn before, you can just obviously move out because it's start of main phase and then you just digivolve into a Quadramon. So you don't really lose that much on the having to digivolve into the back. And then also, just digivolving on top of a Dracomon. Oh look, now I have a Quadramon. It cost me nothing to do it. But then this Digimon and any of your other Digimon may DNA digivolve into a Digimon card in the hand, which is just, amazing. Just end of turn, DNA, do DNA stuff because X-Mon is scary. Navymon, on play your top 3 cards of your deck and add 1 card with the Appmon trait and 1 card with the Appmon driver trait. Brings them to the hand, return the rest of the bottom of the deck, and then piercing is an inherited effect. And link is plus 2,000 CP. Yeah, super simple. Mushroom Man! Everyone's favourite cheeky little mushroom. The thing I like about the Mushroom Mon the most is it has very similar to a Mush Boom from the Mana series. It's definitely the same guy, right? On play, you may suspend 1 Digimon, and it's any Digimon that includes your own. And then piercing as the inherited effect, which again, really good, especially if you have Raid. Woodmon. On play, when digivolving, you may suspend 1 Digimon, and then all turns once per turn. Any of your opponent's Digimon are played. If this Digimon is suspended, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. I know he's not got the trait for it, but Medieval's gonna love this deck. I can see Medieval being like your 2 of level 6s that you just used as a tech option. Jerrymon. On play, when digivolving, you may suspend 1 Digimon. Opponent's turn once per turn. When any of your opponent's Digimon attack, if this Digimon is suspended, you may change the attack target to one of your Digimon with the Wind Guardian trait. Whenever your Wind Guardian trait Digimon are played, you may suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Such a good effect. And then this is kind of why you want to be kind of a dick, I suppose it is. Is you have Puppetmon as an ace. He's also vegetation. He's a puppet, and he's also a Wind Guardian. The fact that he's a puppet, and we're going to get more puppet support in the future, could be quite interesting, especially if it lets you play cost 7 or less puppets. And This guy's level. This guy's a 7-cost or less puppet. Reboot and blocker on play when digivolving. It's obviously just digivolve. He's an ace. Digivolve 2, one of your opponent's Digimon. Then return one of their suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck. So, depending on the situation, this could be a very aggressive deck, this could be a very slow deck, but I think it's going to be really cool to see how Puppetmon plays out. Not an amazing card by any means, but I think it could be pretty cool. In like, I like the Pendulum decks, to be fair. I've said that before. I like the style of Pendulum decks. We're going to obviously get Metal Empire next set, which is Machinedramon, so we have all of the Dark Masters out. I kind of wish they all said DM on them for Dark Master, but I know they can't, because if they did, eventually Apocalypse will just come back and destroy everyone's souls. I love the alt art. The alt art's just so grimy. He's just like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. And then the SP is probably gonna be like £2.50. I like, again, this is that like silhouette style that you might get from like Monster Hunter, where your character stands still and he stands tall and he's all characterized and he's got like his own portrait in the background. Like, I like this is just a RPG character like profile picture. Meh. But it is what it is. It's gonna be. I think he's gonna be cheap, like Hercules Capitaneum was like super cheap. Examon X antibody. Piercing blocker evade. A lot of people went like, "Why's he got those keywords?" Because he's not really what you need him to be. He's just gonna be a giant annoying body on the field. When did you want to spend all of your opponent's Digimon and Tamers, then delete one of their suspended Digimon or Tamers? Like one of the very few non-purple black cards that say destroy Tamers. Although he's green. I think green's the other one that says something about like murdering Tamers. All turns was returned when this Digimon suspends, it unsuspends. Then if Xamon or X plays in this Digimon's Digimon cards trash your opponent's top security card. And that's why he's really here. Because he'll evade, he'll suspend, he'll unsuspend, then on the unsuspend, he'll pop a security, and then he's just slowly gonna whittle down your board because he's that guy. He's just that guy. The alt art though is a fantastic one again. Action poses are my favourite, and he's just coming in to basically take all your security. We have Watchmon, Knucklecomon, Watchmon. On play until the end of your opponent's turn, one of their Digimon can't attack players, which is actually really good for like a free cost. It's like end of turn, I've got like this in my hand, what do I do? Right, that thing can't attack me. I'm pretty sure it lingers as well, so if it's on something that's immune till the end of your turn and you just give it this effect, it still has the effect on it like everything else that works like that. And then it has the same with linking. So that's actually really cool. Shotmon. On play by trashing one card with the app or Free Musketeers trait from any of your Digimon's Digivolution cards, digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, and then when linking, delete one of your opponent's play cost 3 or less Digimon. I really, really like this because part of my brain now is thinking that the next time we see Violet in the card game, in the comic, she'll be playing her Musketeers deck. And if that's the case, that means that we'll see like the Atmon Musketeers deck version, which I think is going to be a very cool deck. A lot of people who play Free Musketeers loves this already. Susano, when this Digimon digivolve into a card with a mineral rock or trait, did you produce the Digimon Cosplay 1, which is like the standard like third of or secondary option for this lines now, as we've just seen with Sango. I'm not sure if we have another one in this set. If we did, it's gone already, I think. But yeah, like everyone likes these make sense. And then when effects trash this card from mineral or rock trait, Digimon cards delete one of your opponent's play cost of 4 or less Digimon, which isn't nothing. Like there's not a lot of 4-cost specific cards anymore. But, you know, it's basically all your floodgates, it's all your, like, cheap end level 4s. So, no, it can come up. It's also aces. It's also your level 5 aces for the most part. So it's basically just like, hey, if your opponent's just got like a random ace on the field, just pop its ass. It's like, okay. Venmon on play. By trashing one card with Venmon in its text from your hand, you may return one non-Digi-Egg card with Venmon in its text from the trash to the hand. Well, that makes sense because you can't have eggs in the hand. Your turn was turn. When this Digimon would digivolve into a Digimon card with Venmon in its text, reduce the play cost by 1, which is really good. I'm pretty sure these stacks, if you somehow had 4 in the stack, you could just basically reduce the cost to 0, depending on the card. Then alt art looks great. I love the whole, Digivolution line thing that we have here. It's very reminiscent of like Tamers, where they had like the intro theme and it was just, you know, them all going up into it. Still the best series. Don't come at me. Greymon went on play when Digivolving if you have a tie or a Tamer with Adventure in trait. Give one of your opponent's Digimon starve your main for this attack until the end of the turn. This is great as long as you got a blocker, you can stop them from killing you. And then reboot as the inherit effect. Snatchmon, just Samus Aran walking down the road here, just going to blow your ass out. On play, when Digivolving, reveal top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with Venomon in its text amongst them to the hand. Trash the rest. Then you may play Then you may place up to 2 Vemons from the trash as one of your Digimon's bottom distribution cards. All turns return when any of your Vemon are returned to the bottom of the deck from this Digimon's distribution cards. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with play cost of 4 or less. We had that guy, but he was on level 3, so level 4. Timon. Future. As blocker, your turn was returned when when this Digimon gets linked, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. That's fine. And then when linking, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. So when he gets a link underneath him, he'll Digivolve. If he links into somebody else, he'll Digivolve. So he's just consistently doing the same thing, which makes sense for time. You know, he's reversing time. Destromon. When Digivolving until the opponent's turn ends, their effects can't trash this Digimon's stacked cards. Then one of your opponent's Digimon Digivolves 1 for every 2 Vemon in this Digimon's distribution cards. All turns, when this Digimon will leave the battle area, you may play 1 Vemon from its distribution cards without paying the cost. Fair enough. First turn was returned when any of your opponent's Digimon attack. You return 2 Vemon cards from the Digimon distribution cards to the bottom of the deck until the end of the turn. Fair enough. Metal Greymon for the adventure stuff. On play when Digivolving to one of your opponent's Digimon Digivolve 1, and then for every 2 Tamer colours, Digivolve another level of 1, I believe. So yeah, you always get the 1, and then if you got 2 colours, you go 2. If you got 4 colours, you go 3. If you got 6 colours, you go 4. 4, yeah, because you need 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. At that point, though, you just basically Digivolving it down to an egg, which you can't do, so you go to the rookie. Your turn was returned when your other Digimon are played or Digivolve. If any of them are adventure, one of your Digimon gains alliance for the turn, and then one of your Digimon may attack, which is just very good. Obviously, the issue you have here is you kind of need this to be in like the movable stack, and then you play something else to essentially end the turn, which isn't too hard to do. Obviously, you just want to try and like shape it properly. The deck is very good. It's just toolbox decks aren't always consistent because you kind of want to play a bit of everything, and then the toolbox is just like 6 screws and like 1 hammer. Doesn't always work. Alliance isn't the inherited. There we go. Use that hammer. But no, I think it's a solid card. I'm looking forward to playing this in the near future. Galactimon. When Digivolving, by placing 4 cards with Vemon in their text from your trash as this Digimon's bottom distribution card, you may use 1 Ragnarok Cannon from your hand or trash without paying the cost. Start of your main phase. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon. All turns, when this Digimon will leave the battle area, by returning 4 Vemon from its distribution cards to the bottom of the deck, it doesn't leave. It's going to be a pain. Because it's leave the battle area, so that's really annoying. And then obviously the Destru that's underneath it gave it protection for the turn. So yeah, it's going to be pain in the butt. Pain in the butt. But I think we can do it. The alt art, though, is very menacing. I don't think he has 2, like a head and like a tail head. He's coming for you. And then the SP is actually same motif. The whole like it's just the character portrait thing in the back with like half a head, but it's very clean. It's very like 1990s, early 2000s like sci-fi. So I'm down for that. Gumdramon! On play by trashing 1 card with save in its text or hero trait from their hand. Draw 2 cards. Fantastic for this deck. And then on deletion, save. Guilmon. Oh, it's my boy. He's an uncommon though, so I actually get me foil. On play by trashing 1 card with Guilmon, Growlmon, Gallant, or Medieval in its name, or the hero trait from the hand. Draw 2. So this also includes the new Takato. Takaraman. Blab me some Takaraman. On deletion, game 1. The deck is so weird, especially if you look how the line wants to go, because half of it wants to just destroy your opponent's stuff to gain memory, and then the other half it's like, just let me explode you. Just let me go. Ghostmon, your turn. When this Digimon will Digivolve into a card with Go straight. Reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. I was right. There was one more. It was Ghostmon. And then on deletion, gain 1 memory. The deck needed this because the issue is there's not a lot of ghost rookies, and they're all kind of trash. But all the third ones trash. So the fact that we got this one actually helps a lot to make like the level 3s more consistent and better. Especially because it's done deletion effect gains of memory, because this deck wants to just explode constantly. Arresteraman. On play, when Digivolving, you may play 1 Tamer card with the Hero or Hunter trait from the hand without paying the cost, which is pretty cool. And deletion, you may place 1 Digimon card with save in its text or hero trait from your hand or trash under any of your Tamers, then save. And then reduce the cost by 2 on Digicrossing with 1 Digimon card with save in its text, so it goes to 4. And then your turn, this Digimon gets 2000 DP for the turn. I think just if you can do it, you just give it a rushing Shoutmon underneath it, and then you have rush if you can still go. Wait, nope, no you can't, because it doesn't give you rush because you're not in cross. Oh no. Is there something that gives you rush? You give DP. Actually, that's not very good at all. Uh-oh. Grumon, security in the battle. Play this card without paying the cost, and on play when Digivolving. You may return 1 Digimon card with the adventure trait from the trash to the hand. Recursion is so good. A lot of people are trying to figure out like what's the best way to do this deck, and a lot of people are like saying Garumon's actually really good just to help keep the deck churning, because the deck just wants to throw itself and bodies into your opponent's security. So it makes sense. And then attacking once per turn, draw 1 card and trash 1 card in hand again. So you are just like, I don't need this card now. I'll get it back later. Grauman. On play, when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4000 DP or less. If this effect didn't delete, trash the top 2 cards of your deck. If it was a Dark Dragonkin, this actually might be quite interesting in the Medusa deck, but unfortunately, I mean, you can still play it. Just can't use it to be played by effects. Pop those tokens. Goose Gamamon. Scurry, at the end of the battle, play this guy without paying the cost. Look at him. Don't interrupt him, he's eating his apple. On play, when Digivolving, by placing 1 Digimon card with the Gamamon in its name from the hand or trash as this Digimon's bottom Dilution card. Delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon cards. Yeah. He's good. It's good, man. Gossipmon. Security, at the end of battle, play this card without paying the cost, and then on play, when Digivolving, you may return 1 Digimon card with the Atmon trait from the hand or trash. Solid. It's solid, super solid. And then when linking, you may also return 1 Digimon card with the Atmon trait from the trash to the hand. Again, super solido. Amazing. And also gives 3000 DP when linked. Yeah, like, not an issue. That's like a really good card. Scoutmon. On play, when Digivolving, by placing 1 card with the Atmon or 3 Musketeers traits from the hand or the trash as one of your Digimon's bottom Dilution cards, gain 1 memory. All you are going to do is just reinsert option cards and be like, yo, it just works that way sometimes, man. Trash my shit. It's a good day to be a gun. And then level 3 with Musketeers traits costed 2. Perfect. Like, he's gonna be so, like, the deck is like looking really good. New superior mode, raid and piercing. When Digivolving, the Digimon may attack without suspending. And then all turns, this Digimon gets 1000 DP for each of its Dilution cards. Again, standard. If you can Digivolve into this and keep turn, and obviously get to attack with the raid and the piercing, and then without suspending, and then get to do it a second time, I can see this just being amazing. It already is pretty good, and I think it's going to be that way for the future. Karasimon, blocker on play, when Digivolving, you may link a level 4 or lower Digimon card from the trash on this Digimon's Dilution cards to this Digimon without paying the cost. Your turn, once per turn, when this Digimon gets linked, give one of your opponent's Digimon start your main phase this Digimon attacks until the end of the turn. And then, all turns once per turn, when this Digimon leaves the battle area by trashing 1 Digimon's linked card, it doesn't leave. It's like semi-protection, it's very good for DP, it makes your opponents have to fight you, it's just good. And that's what I like to see. I like to see cards that are forcing your opponents to actually play the game. Hey, that's a level 5 looking Billy the Kid. On play, when Digivolving, by placing 1 Atmon or 3 Musketeers traits card from your hand or trash as any of your Digimon's bottom Dilution cards until your opponent's turn ends, their effects can't return this Digimon to the hand or deck or affect it with the Digivolve effects. You can still be deleted, and you can still be put into security. But as a rule, having multiple forms of protection is still very good. When Digivolving, when attacking, was returned by trashing one card with the Atmon or Three Musketeers traits from this Digimon's division cards. Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. And then when linked, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. Good. Like a really good card. Like, I can see this being probably like a 4 of now in the deck, just because of how good it is. But you're probably going to do like 3-3-3 or like 2-2-4 or 2-2-3. So, yeah, I'm sure somebody out there's already like mapped out a deck and they've already got it working. Skull Greymon being this like really interesting card that came out of nowhere, and everyone's like, I'll play when Digivolving one of your Digimon gains Raid and Retaliation until the end of your opponent's turn. On deletion, you may play one adventure trait card with a play cost of 4 or less from the trash without paying the cost. So, all of your level 3s, I think maybe some of your level 4s, if not all of them. And then on deletion, you may play one adventure trait card with a play cost of 4 or less from the trash without paying the cost. The idea for this is obviously that you literally just slam yourself into one of your opponent's Digimon and you just retaliate it down into nothingness. And then War Greymon, sorry, on play when Digivolving, trash the top 2 cards of your deck. Then this Digimon gains Raid and Retaliation until the end of your opponent's turn. Hey! The other one did that too! Take when attacking once per turn, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card with Megidramon or Chaos Skeletmon in its name in the hand. For every 10 cards total in both players' trashes, reduce the effect's Digivolution cost by 1. So, the idea really is that you want to basically go into a Megidra for like 2 or 3, reducing the cost down a little bit, and just slamming yourself into your opponent. Regulusmon, on play when Digivolving by trashing one card with the Gammon in its text from the hand, give one of your opponent's Digimon collision, and start your main phase this Digimon's attacks until your turn ends. On deletion, you may play one Canoise or level 4 lower Digimon card with Gammon in its text from the trash without paying the cost. So obviously the idea is you just want to go loop into the other level 5. Then on deletion, you may play one level 4 lower Digimon card with the Gammon in its text from the trash without paying the cost. So, very good. No, it's really good at just destroying your opponent, basically. Garurumon, on play when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. If your Tamers have 2 or more total colours, add 1 to the effect's level minimum. So 0 you get 4, 2 you get 5, 4 you get 6, 6 you get 7. So you can delete essentially any level as long as they're not protected. Your turn was turned when your other Digimon are played or Digivolve. If any of them have adventure trait, one of your Digimon gains alliance for the turn, and then one of your Digimon may attack. And then same with the inheritance effect. So yeah, all the level 5s do the same thing when it comes to the alliance thing. The only one that's different is Skull Greymon, because he just wants to essentially get really angry, slam himself into your opponent, and then go from there. Megidramon. Where is my alt art for Megidramon? Where is the support? Where is the Toonami alt art? God damn it. Security attack +1, end of turn, once per turn, delete all Digimon. Bye, Felicia. On deletion, you may play 1. You may play. No. Yeah, because it's 1 play 1. You may play 1 play cost 3 or lower Digimon card with Guilmon or Growlmon in its name from the trash without paying the cost. For every 10 cards total in both players' trashes, add 2 to this effect's play cost maximum. So, if you have 10, or you got 5 and 5, it's a Growlmon. If it's 10 in both, it's 7. So it's a War Growlmon. I'm just glad that there's no like Gallant Growlmon level 6s. So you just go like, oh yeah, there's like 30 between both of us, so it's a level 11. It's 9. Bang. And then add to that effect. I like this card. I know there's a way in this deck that you can make it like hit this, and then it'll play out 2 extra bodies or 3 extra bodies on the same turn, and it's just going to be absolute chaos, and I love it. And you got rush, and you just swing everything. It's going to be fun. Like, I'm going to enjoy this when I get to actually play this. Then the Tamers. So, Hero with an Eye. So, if your main phase, if your opponent has a Digimon gain a memory, super common effect these days. I quite like these. Your turn when this effect places a Digimon card under any of your Digimon with Gammon in its name or text, or the hero trait. By suspending this Tamer, draw 1, gain 1 memory. Super cool. That's what it costs 4 rather than 3. And the altar is very, very cute. We have the Mr. Owen. Start of your main phase. If your opponent has a Digimon, hey, gain a memory. He's a free cost though. By suspending this Tamer, one of your Digimon with the Reptile Dragonkin traits gains piercing for the turn, and then that Digimon may attack. It's pretty good. It's pretty damn good. He also got an ult. I wasn't expecting this, I'll be honest with you. For whatever reason, I thought more Digimon would get ults, maybe like Megidramon, and Owen wouldn't get one, and one of the other Tamers wouldn't get one. But I actually am glad to see that Owen actually has a full art, especially after BT18 not gaining a full art. So if you want the foil version, you have to get the release copy, which are now like £10. So have fun. Then we have the new Takuya. Plays card by paying the cost from security. In the start of your main phase, one of your Digimon or Tamers may digivolve into a Digimon card with the hybrid or hero traits in the hand for each of your Tamers with different names. Reduce this effect's delusion cost by 1. The idea of this is it is more for the hero deck, because obviously you have all these different heroes with different names. But technically, you can also do this in Emperor Greymon, where you have this Takuya, you have the Takuya and Koji, you have the new girl that I hate so much I can't remember her name, and you have the new Tommy, who's also a red. So you have 4 different Tamers, so you can reduce the play cost by 4. Sorry, the distribution cost by 4. And I'm pretty sure this might also interact with Emperor Greymon that can digivolve over a Takuya with 5 or more sources. So you get a 1-cost Emperor Greymon. I could be wrong. We'll go over that Emperor Greymon in a bit and see if that's what it's meant for. But yeah, you can definitely do some shenanigans with this deck now. This nice called Alt Art. I think it's really nice. People are saying it's got like a really weird face, but I think it's got like an odd ear shape maybe. But I can't really see anything that's like Uncanny Valley doesn't really work. Then we got the new Taiki. Solve your main phase, replacing one Digimon card with the Cross Hearts, Blue Flare, or Hero trait from the hand. I'll do the same, make it draw a card and get a memory. Yeah, super cool. So it costs 4 because you gain the memory and you get a draw. Your turn, when your Digimon are played or Digivolve, if any of them have the X Heart or Hero trait by spending this Tamer, one of them may attack. Yeah, it's cool, especially if you give it a rush. And then this nice looking into the sunrise rather than sunset. Alternate, I think it's really cool. I think they've done like a really good job for all these different style of Towie animated Tamers. Haru. So if your main phase, if you have 2 or less memory, say it to 3. Yeah, makes sense. Use a memory setup. And then your turn, when your Digimon get linked by suspending this Tamer, draw 1. Then one of your Digimon may app fuse into a Digimon card in the hand. Yeah, it's like basically app version of DNA Digivolving, I think it is. So again, super cool. You can draw a card, so you just use a card. Now you can throw it all together. Swoop down and into the Digiverse. Didn't play app. I didn't watch Appmon, so I don't really know the terminology for these things. But they're definitely in cyberspace, right? It's your boy. It's the Davis. Start of your main phase. If your opponent has a Digimon, gain 1 memory. Main by suspending this Tamer and trashing the top stacked card of one of your armor forms. Trade Digimon, draw 1 and gain 1 memory. If you have like multiple of these on the field, you can just generally go from the like into your Magnus like cost of 1 basically. So you can do a lot of damage, like 1 or 2 turns. And then this cool alt art from back in the digital world. I think it's really nice. The V-Mon's like really like weirdly done here. I'm going to presume it's obviously like it's a layered piece. And I know this is behind Davis, but for whatever reason it makes me think like it's just tickling his ear. But no, it's a really nice style of artwork they've done. Marcus Damon, Mr. Punch Old Digimon. Start your main phase if your opponent has a Digimon, gain a memory. Whee! And then on play, one of your Marcus Damons may suspend. Awesome. Then all turns will turn when this Tamer suspends, one of your Digimon gains piercing and 3000 DP for the turn, and then one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 DP for the turn. He's very heavy in effects, this one. Like, you know, they know what they're doing. And then, yeah, Marcus just threatening the sun now. He's going to punch the sun, because that's what Marcus is all about. We have Zenith, or at least Zenith that we know him currently. Start of your turn, if you have 2 or less memory, get set to 3, and then reveal top 3 cards of your deck. Amongst them, play 1 Venmon without paying the cost, or add 1 with Venmon in its text to the hand, trash the rest. Which, absolutely fantastic card. Zenith. Yeah, I like the ult. Makes sense. Obviously, he's got his Digimon behind him. Everyone else got the Digimon around them. And, you know, including these are behind Owen. Tagiru! So your main phase, by placing 1 Digimon card with save in the text or hero trait from the hand under this Tamer. Draw 1 and gain 1 memory. Yeah, full cost. But he has like extra cool effects, so that makes sense. Your turn, when any of your Digimon would digivolve into a Digimon card with save in its text or the hero trait by suspending this Tamer and placing 1 card from under your Tamers as any of their bottom distribution cards reduce play cost by 1. Sorry, distribution cost by 1. Really good. Really, really happy with that, actually. That makes sense, Hunters. I want to see like the new Hunters stuff. Look how happy for this. We're going to go for it. Why is everyone pointing at the sun? God, you're all going to go blind. Put your goggles on. You know how that works. And then Tagatoman. Start your main phase if your opponent has Digimon game 1. Awesome. All turns when any of your Digimon are played or Digivolve by suspending this Tamer until your opponent's turn ends. One of your Digimon with Guilmon, Crowmon, Gallantmon, or Megidra in its name or hero traits gains blocker. And if there are 10 or more total cards in both players' trashes, gets 2000 DP. So, this deck can become quite big. It also has blocker in case you just couldn't explode the turn before. You know, just trying to force yourself to explode. And then the artwork. Gilmon likes the bread. Gilmon loves the bread. He wants his melon pan. And then Takato's like, Takato's like, it's old bread, man. Just chill out. Just enjoy it. Maybe a curry bun. The Strongest of Brothers, which is the option card for Gamma. Then if you have a Digimon or Tamer with Gammon in the text on the field, you can ignore the card's color requirements, which is understandable because if you're playing some of the old stuff, you've got blues, purples, and greens on the field, and not like red at all. Main real top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with Gammon in the text amongst them to the hand, return the rest of them up the deck, and then place this card in the battle area. All turns when this effect places a Digimon card under your Digimon, delay one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card with the Gammon in its text. Plan on paying the cost. I'm pretty sure if you wanted to, you could do this like turn 1, and then obviously it'll be active for your following turn when you just shove something underneath your Gammon. So, yeah, cool. The security effect, you may play 1 Gammon in text with play cost of 4 or less from your hand or trash without paying the cost. Then place this card in the battle area. I'm pretty sure it's because there's a Gammon that also costs 4, but I'm not too sure if there's any other level 4s that cost 4. So maybe that's the reason. I wasn't really paying attention to it as we we're going through, to be fair. Spirit Evolution. If you have a Tame with heritage effects, you can know the color cost, which makes sense because a lot of the BT21 ones have heritage effects. Main by trashing 1 card with the hybrid trait of the hand, draw 2, then place this card in the battle area. This is essentially just the exact same as if you were to do the BT17? No, BT12 Flamemon, where you just throw it down and trash 1 and draw 2. All turns when any of your Tamers with inherited effects are played, delay. One of your Tamers may Digivolve into a Digimon card with a hybrid trait in the hand without paying the cost. This, I think, is to make you good Digivolve into Emperor. Can't turn my back. Digimodify. While you have a Digimon with the X Cross Hearts trait, Cross Hearts trait, you can ignore this card's color requirements. Main, place 1 Digimon card in one of your Cross Heart trait Digimon's distribution cards under one of your Tamers. Then you may play 1 Digimon card with the Cross Hearts traits from the hand without paying the cost, reduced by 1 for each card placed. Can't turn my back. Security. You may play 1 Cross Heart traded Digimon card with a play cost of 5 or less. No, it's just a trait card. So it could even be a Tamer too. From your hand or trash without paying the cost. Yeah, you can actually get a Tamer back. That's actually really cool. Raging Serpentine. When this card would be used, if your opponent has 3 or fewer security, which is super easy in this deck, reduce the cost by 4, so it goes to a 4 cost. And then main, delete your opponent's highest DP Digimon, then place this card in the battle area. When your opponent's security stack is removed from, delay. One of your Reptile or Dragonkin Digimon may Digivolve into a Reptile or Dragonkin trait Digimon card in the hand without paying the cost. And security, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the highest DP. This is actually really good into what's his face? Magnet X. It's one of the very few cards that just goes, you know, pop the top part of your opponent's Digimon, which obviously helps. And then Armor Digivolution, top 3. Go top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with Davis Motor in its name and 1 card with 3 traits amongst them to the hand. Trash the rest, then place this card in the battle area. If you consistently keep getting like a Davis and then an like a Vmon and then an armor form you don't care for and it goes in the trash, that's gonna be great because you're just gonna be building up your Magnus to be stronger. All turns when the top stack card of any of your armor form trait Digimon is trashed, delay. One of your Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card with the armor form trait in hand without paying the cost. Obviously the idea is pop it with your Davis, gain a draw, gain a memory, Digivolve using this for free, go back into a magnet and suspend, swing again. I would highly recommend, if you can figure out a good way to do it, because I'm going to try and do it myself, is fire rockets. If you can constantly punch things for 2 security checks and then you die on the second check every time, you are winning. You are just going to be winning. And it's good. It's so good. Wind Guardians. While you have no face-up security cards, you can ignore this color requirement. Yeah, this guy's going to... I don't know, forgetting that. Security, all turns, all of your Digimon with the Wind Guardian trait gain Vortex, which means that they can attack at the end of the turn. And that's how they attack at the end of the turn, with that goddamn Griffimon. Main, add your bump security to the hand, then place this card face up as the bump security card. Yeah, makes sense. Then you may play one wing trait level 5 or lower Digimon card from the hand without paying the cost. Yeah, awesome. Really good card. The Champion Ultimate Fighter. Main, for the turn, one of your Marcus Tamers is treated as a 12,000 DP Digimon, can't Digivolve and gains Rush. Then, that Digimon may attack your opponent's Digimon. Your opponent's unsuspended Digimon can also be attacked with this effect. It's good. Like, it's really good. I know it costs 4, but it's forcing you to attack. And then it allows you to, like, switch out through different things and, like, trigger effects. Popping your opponent's Digimon, Digivolving, like, it's a really good card. I don't know how much it's going to see play. Like, you might play 1 or 2 of it just as, like, a win harder card, maybe, but maybe. App Link. While you have a Digimon or Tamer with the app trait on the field, you can ignore this card's color requirements and then reveal top 3 cards to your deck, add 1 card with the Appmon or App Driver trait amongst the hand, trash the rest, then place this card in the battle area. End of your turn, delay. You may link 1 card from the hand or one of your Digimon without paying the cost. Yeah, as we've seen, like there's certain ones that want to be linked at the end of turn, so it makes sense. Ragnarok Cannon. Main, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost, then place this card in the battle area. Your turn, when one of your Galactimon attacks, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. If this effect didn't delete, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack so that it has 1 card left. So yeah, it basically just goes. Gonna be a pain in the ass. Let's just say that. Security, you may play 1 card with Venmon in the text and a play cost of 6 or less from your hand or trash without paying the cost, then add this card to the hand. Very good. Cross Up, which is a fighting move for those who don't know. You may place 1 Digimon card with save in the text from your hand or trash under any of your Tamers, then one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card with save in its text in the trash, which is beautiful, especially in purple. You may play 1 card with save in its text and play cost of 5 or less from the hand or trash without paying the cost, then add this card to hand. Again, recurrence, really good. Those you'll play, it's really good. The Digimon I designed. You may play 1 Takato Matsuki. You can ignore the card's color requirements. That's really good, but I mean, it's awkward because you're generally going to be playing the new purple one anyway, but you probably are also going to be playing like maybe the Blitz one for more blitzing. Main, draw 1 card, trash 1 card in hand, then place this card in the battle area. Your turn, when effect deletes Digimon, delay. One of your Digimon with Guilmon or Groundmon in its name may Digivolve into a Digimon card with Groundmon, Galantmon, or Megidra in its name from the trash without paying the cost. This also triggers after you've done all your Megidra triggers when it explodes and plays Digimon out, so you don't miss timing in Digimon. You can do it if it's still within the same like frame. Gaiamon. If 2 cards are linked together, stack the linked cards on top of one of them. Digivolve, blocker plus link plus 1. Add 1 to this Digimon's max links, so you can just make it like a giant ass Digimon. When Digivolve and attacking, you may link 1 Digimon card with the Appmon trait from the hand or this Digimon's Digivision cards to one of your Digimon without paying the cost. Your turn, when your Digimon get linked by unsuspending this Digimon, trash your opponent's top security card. It seems like an interesting deck, and I want it to do well, but we will definitely see how good it is in the end. Then we have the Ultra for Gaiamon, which I'm not a massive fan of. I think it's the Japanese one, it could be the Chinese one, where he's like literally smiting someone, which I'm down for that. And then the SP is, the face at the back here is the RPG player guide thing. It's really cool. I like it still. I like how how menacing he feels. Wrongdoers beware. You're in for a scare. And then we have Tai Chi. Good old Mr. Tai. Start of your turn, if you have 2 or less memory, set to 3. Its forecast makes sense as a memory sensor. Then your turn when one of your Digimon attacks by suspending this Tamer. Draw 1. Then main, once per turn, you may play a Adventure or Hero trait card with a play cost of 2 or less from the hand without paying the cost. For each of your Tamer's colours, add 1 to this Digimon's effect play cost, then return this Tamer to the bottom of the deck. The idea obviously is if this comes out early enough that you just want to rotate it in and out for the other colours. That way, you've always got your maximum amount of colours in the field. generally, I'm thinking all your other Tamers are 2 colours for the adventure deck at least. So you're always going to be able to play out all the other ones once you've got one on the field by rotating the ties. I like this. Again, it's just nostalgia. I think it's a really nice nostalgia. I'm glad that whoever, Toei or Bandai, decided that they could do this and no one's like in copyright infringements, hopefully. And then we have the chase, which I like, because it's just obviously scenes from the original anime by Phil Lovett. But I think this one's my favourite. Regular old. Titamon from BT6. One of the signature cards that we saw earlier at the very start, and then they decided to put some of them in the back. I like Titamon, and in a hand removal deck it makes sense. I just wish he would work in Violet's deck, not Violet's, Yuki's deck, but obviously he's not a Dark Dragon or Evil Dragon, he's a Shaman. Hopefully we see some more stuff. Time Stranger does seem to be based around the Olympus 12, I think it is. So hopefully we do get an actual good deck for this guy you can have in your secondary. Wargreymon X Antibody. Yeah, it looks really nice. It's not a card that gets played much now. You might see some play now that we have like actions to do with Dragonkins, so you can force attacks and piercing and everything else. But there's nothing I can really think of that makes me go like, this is the best card ever. It's just a really nice art, and then maybe Wargreymon X Antibody might have something to do in the future. Got the other Analog Youth coming back here as an alternate card. Again, you got scenes from the game in more of a manga / animated style. Obviously, the game's super old now, but they've done a really nice job picking the scenes. It's funny because there's Centurion on there. You see, also the same. It's also in the same frame in the guy. Did they do the same artist? Who was it? It was Toei, apparently. So who did this one? Sassy. I do like Sassy. Sassy's a good artist. For whatever reason, I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, they decided to do the same, frame by frame. Oh, that's got me quite funny. I wish to God this was ST14, because you don't play this one anymore. And I'd love this to be ST14, because that way it gives me a reason to get an alt art and put it in the deck and use it, because BT19 is actually a decent card. A lot of people don't like it as an ace, and it makes sense, I understand. But it's pretty good. Ooh, excuse me. Especially in mill decks where you are going to maybe accidentally run yourself down, and this way it puts things back in your deck, so you're not just going to, make yourself to death. Now, I've said this a dozen times now. I have this deck fully altered out, and this looks really cool. But I wish that this was like, you can see it's in space, but I wish it was more space, and this was like the sun, like supernovaing. But no, it's a really nice card. I don't know if Grace Nova itself is an expensive card. Obviously, the deck is just used as a toolbox as opposed to being the Dust Dawn deck. Hopefully, we'll get like a good top end in the level 6s at some point, or a better top end for level 6s where people actually will play the deck as the deck is meant to be. But for now, here's what it is. It's a beautiful card. And then the EX7 alternate art. I quite like this one. I think it's really cool that it's meant to be a scene from back in the comic where he's trying to figure out how to basically get rid of a scene from back in the day where he's going to fight the first time he's doing the robot where they chasing Yuki around, and it makes sense that he's just trying to be the best he can, and it's just nice nostalgia. Again, a lot of these are nostalgic picks. I think it's really good that they're just trying to push back. I forgot the LM5 stuff was in here, even though I knew the alt arts were in here. So I don't know if you're going to see much use for these, but I do like the fact that it has Blitz. So it's a level 6 has Blitz maybe as a finisher. It's only the fact it's a warrior is a really weird trait compared to a lot of the other things. Like if it was a winged guardian or if it was a bird warrior, maybe you could try and push it into another deck. But it is what it is. Then when Digivolving, when attacking, once returned, return one of your opponent's Digimon with 8000 DP or less to the bottom of the deck. If this effect didn't return, this Digimon gets +1 for the turn. Yeah, swing for 2. It's also not an ace card, which is also pretty good. Your turn, this Digimon target can't be changed. It's nice to have a level 6 that has that on, because a lot of it's level 5s or like heritage effects. So, I mean, I can see this being like a playable card, especially if you need like an extra level 6 in something like the other like Valkyrie deck. Valkyrie. So yeah, I can see it like being like the other part of the deck. Vikemon is kind of weird because it's got the Sea Beast trait, which is fine, but I wish it had the Ice Snow trait because it's got the colours for it. It's a beast skin. Has Ice Clad though. When trashing, when Digimon trash any 4 Digimon cards of your opponent's Digimon, and then when attacking, once per turn, if your opponent has no Digimon with as many or more Digimon cards as their Digimon, it unspends then all of your opponent's all your opponent's security Digimon get -6000 DP, and you want to spend, and then if you still your turn, you can swing again. So you can do 2 checks basically. But I like it. I think it's cool. You can probably still play this in the Ice Clad / Ice Snow deck, because I think if you are more sources or whatever it is, it's been a while since I looked at the deck. Cryo and Polar Bear Mon will give you +1 security attack, so you can do 4 swings basically. So it's pretty good. It's also not an ace, which makes it quite useful. It's the Sea Boy, my Sea Boy, King of the Sea, Regulusmon, Regalicus. It's also a Deep Savers. That's the cool thing. On play when Digivolving one of your Digimon with the Deep Savers traits and suspends. Very nice, which could be itself to be fair. When Digivolving, when attacking, once per turn, if you have 1 or more memory, your opponent adds their top security card to the hand. Then, if you have 1 or less until your opponent's turn ends, one of their Digimon or Tamers can't suspend. Yeah, I'm down for that. That's a really cool, like, extra level 6. It's actually pretty good. It's also blue and black, which means you can do like the DNA into Aegismon. Rizzielmon is also a Freak Angels. I don't like the fact this is a Freak Angels, but it makes sense because I know it can go through Gatamon's line as well, technically. Can Digivolve from an Angel or Archangel for a cost of 3, or a level 5 that's green for, or yellow for 4. And then skill attack +1, and then on play when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. Then until the end of their turn, one of their Digimon or Tamers can't activate when Digivolving effects or suspend. This is pretty cool. Then on deletion, place this card's bottom security card. Alright. It's also a throne Digimon. You sit on it? That's weird. This is what I'm waiting for. 8 for Axel. Yes, Scapegoat is really cool. You can delete one of your Digimon. On play, when Digivolving, de-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, then delete all of their Digimon with the lowest play cost. Has collision as an inheritance effect and blocker, so obviously they have to block you. Which, man, I'm down for that. It's really cool. I don't know if Scapegoat works the way I think it does. I think it does, where if you like crash this into your opponent's stuff because it blocks it, you can then Scapegoat a different Digimon so you don't die. Maybe I'm being wrong. You are generally using this though if you want to use the Ultimate Chaos build, so you have extra colours in your sources. So when the Ultimate Chaos does die, you just, 1, you don't care, and then 2, you just go, everything gets minus like X amount of 1,000 or whatever it is. Ghoulmon block retaliation on deletion. If your opponent has 5 or more cards in their hand, they trash 1 card in their hand. Then if they have 4 or fewer, delete one of their level 6 or lower Digimon. Super nice. Really cool card. Hand trashing is an interesting style of gameplay, but the issue for me is like, if you want that to be a deck, you need to do more. And unfortunately, I feel like if you do more, you're going to make the game like, you don't want to make it so your opponent can't play. And I feel like that's the issue. Promos that are actually good. This is Adventure, but it's also Dragonkin, so it works both in the Adventure Toolbox as well as the Medusa deck. So here, security +1 plus blocker. When Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with as much DP as this Digimon, which in either of those decks can be quite high. And all turns, this Digimon gets 1,000 DP for each colour Digimon and Tamers have. I'm presuming that would mean all Digimon Tamers on the board, so like yours and your opponent's, as it doesn't specifically say. So this can just be a really big Wargreymon. Obviously, that makes sense in the Adventure Toolbox because you got 6 colours. This is now an 18k Digimon. Greymon also has Greymon in the name, so obviously you can search with the Greymon stuff. Reboot blocker. When Digivolving until your opponent's end turns from their opponent's Digimon gets the start of your main phase, this Digimon attacks. Then this Digimon may attack. So this Digimon obviously attacks into it. All turns when attack target change, trash your opponent's top security card. So you obviously swing. If your opponent suspends or blocks, you pop a security. If your opponent doesn't block, you obviously take a security, and then you reboot on their turn, and then they have to attack, so you block it. So because you suspend, because it's getting redirected, pop another security. It's good. It just reminds me of like the old Black Wargreymon days. Dorugoremon, collision, security attack +1. When Digivolving, this Digimon gets 3000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn. Then, if Kusuke, the tamer for this deck, is in this Digimon illusion cards, all of your Digimon with the SOC trait are spend. If you go like a little bit wide, and obviously you've been swinging with things, it makes sense that obviously now you can basically just like push the game. But I don't really think the deck normally goes super wide. I think you can play Digimon by effects this thing gets deleted in this deck. I think that's how it works. Emperor Greymon. Digivolve from a Takuya with 5 hybrid trait cards under it for a cost of 4. So yeah, I'm pretty sure what we were saying about earlier, I think it was Spirit Evolution. You can just Digivolve this for a cost of 0 if you've got the 5 hybrids underneath it already. Blocker, when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with as much or less DP as this one. And since you're playing in red, and a lot of your sources are going to give you DP, it's going to be like 20,000 or less, I think. All turns, this Digimon gets plus 1,000 for each colour in its Digivolution cards, which might just be 2,000, because I think you might just play red and purple cards in that deck. I don't think you're playing like the other colours specifically, although I have seen people like trying to like slot in like a couple of like the lines, like 1 or 2 of the level 3s and like 1 or 2 of the level 4s. So it could be, like a 27k Digimon. And then end of your turn, this Digimon unsuspends. So the idea obviously is that you swing with this, hopefully you don't die, you hit security, and then at the end of your turn you end of turn reboot rather than rebooting, so you can block on the following turn. It's I love the design, it's really cool, but we'll see if it's any good or not in the future. I think Galantmon, this is just an interesting Galantmon because it's basically just a control variant of the BT21 one. So this one is when this card will be played, if there is a Digimon with 13k or more, reduce play cost by 2 for every 5 cost total of player's trashes, which obviously Galantmon does naturally, but if your opponent has just like a big beat stick Digimon, well, there we go. If this can come down for free, it will do. Then Rush, it can swing in and block it, and then on play when Digivolving, delete one of your opponents with 13,000 DP or more. If this didn't, recover the deck +1. Obviously, the idea of this is that you're trying to delete the thing that basically made you come in for free, because you're being a saviour, and then if it's got protection, so it doesn't die, you can just recover. So, meh, pretty good. And then Mastodon. This is just like the upgraded version of the structure deck one. In my opinion, it's not exactly the same, but it's how I feel about it. And that is when Digivolving, recover 1. Then, if DNA Digivolving, by placing one of a Digimon or Tamer as the top or bottom security card, trash your opponent's top security. This means yours. This also means your opponent's. So if you go, hey, I want to put this Tamer on top of my security, so that way it activates next turn, or later on in a second, I'm just going to remove one of your securities. When Digivolving, when attacking once per turn, by trashing the top security card, you may play 1 purple or yellow Digimon card with 6,000 DP, or less from the hand or trash by paying the cost. So this works 2 ways. So 1, this pops a card from security. That goes to trash. You can then play that card that you trashed intentionally onto the field. It can also be a card like the Curry. Sorry, the Curry? No, not the Curry. Actually, I think it's the Curry. The Curry option card, the Angel Woman option card from BT15, the Gatomon from BT15, because they're both when removed from security, play the effect or to play to the field. And then obviously you get to bring something back as well. Obviously it's not so good in the case of where you want to pop an Angel Woman or whatever on top, get the Angel Woman out. It's triggered then by the Makeo? Oh, it's been so long. Mako? which then sees it played. There's no other Digimon no, it doesn't work because this. Ah, the idea is obviously that when you put something down, if it's doing Digimon, it digivolves, so it can work that way, kind of, maybe. But obviously, it doesn't really work in that way. But having more sources is pretty good. I think there's a way to get this alliance, and that's probably what you want to do. So you want to have it alliance. You'll have alliance when attacking. It will attack, pop a security, play a body, can alliance with that thing because it already had the keyword alliance, and then swing for 2 hits at like 19k. That's probably what it is. Come on, brain, you've got this. It's in there somewhere. But that is everything from BT21 we get in the boxes, and that only took like an hour and 20. God damn it. Alright, these should be a lot quicker though. So, we get these lovely little alternate scrambles. I don't think they've been physically shown yet, so I don't think we know if they're foil or not. Please, Bandai, let these be foil. Because it's nice to have reprints of cards that we want, but if they're shiny, it's even better. These are, obviously, you've seen them all before, what they do. A lot of people are looking forward to these because it makes sense for the adventure decks, or, you know, that they have the adventure tamers and rookies in here as the alternate arts, but again, they're going to be good in the other decks. So, Koromon here, all turns, Digimon gain extra 1000 DP, just running in the desert. Biyomon, reveal top 3 cards, use Searcher, add one with the adventure trait and one such tamer or option card amongst them to the hand, return the rest of them up the deck, perfectly fine. Bergermon, they are forecast. On play, when digivolving, if your tamers with the adventure trait have 3 or more total colours, this Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon card with the adventure trait in hand without paying the cost. The idea of this is basically the tie is obviously considered a colour, white is a colour, and then any of your tamers from these 2 boxes are 2 colours, which means that as long as there's 2 tamers on the field, you will generally have access to a colour combination to let you digivolve for free. There is some setup obviously, but it's not as weird as I'm making it sound. On play, when digivolving for the turn, one of your Digimon gains security attack +1, and for every 2 colours of tamers that you get 2000 DP. You can generally just make this a giant ass beat stick is basically the thing, or any of your other Digimon, but generally this one. Give it alliance, and then when it has alliance, it will just only swing for like 3 checks at like 16k. Your turn was turn when your other Digimon are played or digivolve. If any of them are adventure traits, one of your Digimon gains alliance for the turn, and then again alliance. It's like besides Skull Greymon, they will have this alliance effect. It would be nice if we had more DNA stuff. Just saying. Gatomon here. Security at the end of the battle. We play this card without paying the cost. And on play, when digivolving, 2 of your opponent's Digimon get minus security attack +1 for the turn. It's interesting in theory. I just don't think you're going to play it. And Digimon on play, when digivolving, one of your other Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon card with the adventure trait in hand without paying the cost. Actually, really good. And then your turn was per turn. When your other Digimon are played or digivolve, if any of them have the adventure trait, one of your Digimon gains alliance. Again, same trait, super cool. Actually, like a really good Digimon. Tentamon, opponent's turn. Your opponents can't reduce Digivolution costs, which I think is a good card, but I just don't think he's going to see much of it these days because Black Box isn't stopping the full cost. It's a different costing. When digivolving, if you have 1 or fewer tamers, you may play 1 Digimon card with the adventure trait from your hand without paying the cost. So yeah, it's basically you can get your 2 tamers out, which I think is just really cool. That's what we want. Both decks have this ability. It's just Kabuterimon is just the one that does in this deck. Make Kabuterimon on play when digivolving, one of your Digimon unsuspends. Then for every 2 colours your tamers have with the adventure trait, you suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. So as much as it can't do the secondary action all the time, unless you've got at least 1 tamer on the field, it can, although it shouldn't do because you're probably doing Kabuterimon into this. It will always unsuspend something. So if you get to swing with something early with maybe Alliance, and then you digivolve the Alliance thing into this one. Ooh, baby. And then your turn was turn. When your other Digimon are played or digivolve, if any of them have the adventure trait, again, alliance, and then has the effect again. So it gives you all your level 6 will always have the alliance effect. Then we have the Agumon, which just warps you basically. Or your opponent has a Digimon with 10k or more, or your opponent or your tamers have 3 or more total colours. This Digimon may digivolve into a War Greymon in the hand for digivolution cost of 4, ignoring the colour requirements. Super awesome. Also has reboot. We have a chase card. Chase card is gorgeous. I think we have seen the actual card of this. It does look really nice. But there we go. And then War Greymon Ace. On play, when digivolving, until your opponent's turn ends, for every 2 colours of tamers you have, their Digimon effects don't affect one of your Digimon, so you can give protection essentially over your board, which is really good. Then when digivolving, when attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest TP, which if you can still swing after Digivolving, warping up, then you're really good. I think there's one here that just says like you're a Digimon attack or something like that. Then Sora and Kari, start of your main phase. If you have a Digimon with the adventure trait, it gains a memory, and then your turn when any of your Digimon with the adventure trait would be played from the hand by suspending this tamer, reduce the play cost by 1. Very nice. And then Tai and Izzy, when any Digimon card with the adventure trait would be played from your hand by suspending this tamer, game 1. Sorry, reduce play cost by 1. So again, similar effect. And then all opponent's turn. All of your Digimon with adventure trait gain blocker, and obviously the idea for this is that if you've attacked with this, we've been able to attack with this, you have reboot, so you can reboot, and now you have got blocker again. So very simplistic trait, very simple to make the game go, just good enough. And then our Courage United, which is obviously all the rookies be like, yeah, we can fight Tai, don't worry. And he gets his ass blasted all the way, don't worry. While you have Digimon or Tamers with the adventure trait on the field, you can ignore this card's credit requirements. Then main, draw 2. That's fine. Then place this card in the battle area, and then all turns when any of your level 5 or higher Digimon would leave the battle area delay, you may play one level 5 or lower Digimon card with the adventure trait from your hand without paying the cost. There is a card that gives you rush. It's going to be good. And then I'll Adventure. While you have no face-up I'll Adventure card, security, you can ignore the card's credit requirements. Security, all turns, all of your level 3 or higher Digimon gets plus 2000 DP. This isn't locked to adventure. It should have been locked to adventure. Main, add your top security card to hand and place this card that's face up as your top security. That is the only other thing really, is the fact like you can use it, but you're generally not going to get much mileage out of it because it goes to the top. But I wish it had said adventure. You may play one tamer card from your hand without paying the cost. I'm pretty sure even if it's face up, this will happen still. So it's kind of one of the reasons why you wanted to use it so early on is like, oh hey, I will use this card, goes on top, and then next turn I get to play out a tamer for free. And that is it for this one. We also have the other deck. The Beamon, and the Gabumon, and the Patamon, and the Palmon, and the Poopmons, and the Devimon, and the Devimon. And then we have Zoomon. You may return one Digimon card with the adventure trait from the trash to the hand on deletion. I think this is really good. Probably what you're going to use over the Koromon, to be fair. That's just how I feel. Come on, your opponents can't gain memory over the Tamer effects. I like the fact we have 2 floodgates in these decks. This one probably being, by the way, the better one. So you probably want to use this like a 2 of in the deck anyway. You can come on at the end of battle. You must carve out playing the stress card and play when Digivolving trust top card, Digivolution cards for your opponent's Digimon. Then one of their Digimon with no Digivolution cards can't attack or block until the end of their turn. And then once per turn, if you have 7 or fewer cards, draw 1. Now for that, I don't think you're gonna play it, but like it's not a terrible card. Like you might want to play it like a 1-off just to fill numbers up maybe. And then on play when Digivolving, for every 2 colours your Tamers have, trash any one of your opponent's Digimon's Digivolution cards, then return one of their Digimon with 1 or fewer Digivolution cards from the hand. Having the ability to do this is really good. The amount of time, like the ace is really good. This Sudamon just says, no. If I can just get you to 1 source, you're going. Your turn's turn when your other Digimon are played, Alliance and then Alliance again. This is like one of those really weird ones where people are like, depending on the meta, this is a really good call. But we will see. Big Booty Angemon. When Digivolving, if you have 1 or fewer Tamers, you may play 1 Tamer card with the adventure trait from your hand without paying the cost, and then one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn. I didn't check what the other one was. I think it's Piercing. Yeah, so depending on the situation, Piercing might be better. If not, you can always just use that one. Magnet on play when Digivolving, place one of your opponent's 6000 DP or lower Digimon as the top security card. For every 2 colours of your Tamers, add 2000 to this. So 1 Tamer, 8k, 2 Tamers, 10k, 3 Tamers, as you know, 12k. You can only really go to 7 colours, which means you can never get hit 14, but 12 is still pretty good. Your turn will turn when your other Digimon are played in Alliance. Okay, it's unusual removal, like I'm not going to complain, but if you hit an ace on the field, and that goes back to, security because it's technically leaving the field, because it becomes private knowledge, you gain memory. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world. Power man by trashing one card with the adventure trait in hand, draw 2. Again, this is going to be really good, especially if you're going to pair it with the Sunamon, where you're going to get cards back that you want later on or don't need. Unplay when digivolving. If you have Tamers with adventure trait, have 3 or more total colours. This Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon card with the adventure trait in hand without paying the cost. Very nice. So yeah, say this and Bergermon both doing the same thing. Really good. It makes it so that both decks aren't like too unbalanced to a degree. Leading on suspend all of your opponent's 5000 DP or lower Digimon. Then for every 2 colours your Tamers have, return one of their suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck. So it's very low to the ground, but it does mean that if there's lots of floodgates from your opponents, or there's just loads, just very low Digimon on the field, like some level 5s, some level 4s rather, you are helping to like clear the way. Your turn was turn again. Get an alliance in the inheritance effect. Gabumon here. While your opponent has a Digimon with the 10,000 DP or more, or your Tamers have 3 or more colours, this Digimon may digivolve into a Metal Grumon in the hand for a Digivolution cost of 4, ignoring the requirements, and then when take one's turn, draw 1 and trash 1. Woo! Alternate looking very snazzy. Very, very snazzy indeed. And then we have Metal Grumon Ace. Both of these arts are actually linked together. As you can see, this is like the side of War Greymon. But we have on play when Digimon return one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon cards to the bottom of the deck. For every 2 colours your Tamers have, add 1 to that level. So, you know, you can do a level 7. When attacking one's turn, you may place 1 level 4 or lower Digimon card from the trash without paying the cost. Super good. Super absolutely good. Then we have Jokido and Mimi. So, of your turn, if you have a Digimon with the adventure trait, get a memory. Then, when any Digimon card with the adventure trait would be played from your hand by suspending this Tamer, reduce the play cost by 1. Very good. Your turn, when any Digimon card with the adventure trait would be played from your hand by suspending this Tamer, reduce the play cost by 1. As you see, a lot of them do this. Makes sense, because you want to hard play a lot of things. Your turn, all of your level 5 or higher Digimon with the adventure trait gain brush. So there is ways to basically make this deck just work, and this was one of them. And yeah, like, this is kind of like a pivotal card. It's really awkward if you want to go which one's better, because I feel like the other deck overall is a little bit better, but like the Matt and TK are just amazing. While you have Digimon or Tamers with the adventure trait on the field, you can ignore this card's colour requirements. Main, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with the adventure trait amongst them to the hand, return the rest to the bottom of the deck, then place this card in the battle area, and it's just a memory boost for later on. So yeah, it's not bad. It's basically specifically a memory boost for adventure trait cards, and I'm down for that. That works. Is it also for free? Yeah. I like for 3 as opposed to 4. 4 is just one of those really weird numbers now where it's honestly going to put things to the bottom that you don't want. I think Digimon over time has kind of realised that 4 is like a big number, and they are reducing things to 3. A lot of people who like disagree with me generally will go like, "Oh, it's like Magic," except Magic is, you know, you're picking the cards you want, like you're digging for things. Like a lot of other card games, you can just go find the specific card you want. Whereas with Digimon, you sometimes don't want to put all those cards at the bottom because like I could do with those like if like the first deck fails. So I do think 3 is better than 4 most times. 2 is what it is. Like, you know, when you do in training to look for something, you can't just put it there really for the boost of reducing it by 2 next turn, and then having to, like, you know, search and grab something you might want. It's also a nice feeling. Whereas I think with the memory boosts and the like, it's more of a case of like, I just like the fact that I can actually gain 2 memory back later on, and I also get to like dig a little deeper. Guinea's House. While you have no face-up Guinea's House security, you can order cards colour requirements, and then security your turn. All of your level 3 or high Digimon get security plus 3. Add the bottom security card to the hand, and then place this as your bottom security. This one is a little bit better than the other one in terms of this one is more of like a scapegoat for later. So if you can somehow survive getting absolutely wrecked by your opponent, for that like one little bit, you can play out one of your maybe Agrumons or Gabumons or whatever you need, and you can just be there for safekeeping for the following turn. But as your Digimon is a ace, your War Greymon and your Metal Grumon's aces, you can ace up into your opponent's swings to like take game maybe. So there's swings and roundabouts. So I don't dislike this card. I think you probably might play this like as a 1 of or a 2 of. You might play the other one as like a 1 or 2 of, depending on like how you want the deck to be built. They're both decent in their own variety and their own reasoning. I've heard people saying they want to play them in different decks. This one makes some sense because it's there to help you like warp into like a level 5 that can like can ace into it. So that makes sense. And then the last thing we have to look at before we do escape for the day is the alternate arts, which is just the Digimon card logo, the new one with Terramon in it. And for some of these that are obviously commons and uncommons, you won't have shiny version. You wouldn't have a shiny version in the decks. It's obviously rare, so you don't have to worry about it too much. But the common cards that you might want in the deck are now shiny. It's an SR, so it's going to be shiny. So like you get your shiny Tentamon, get your shiny Capitariamon, get your shiny Mega Capitariamon, get your... These are the SRs, so you don't need to get these with stamps on. But the Digimon card game logo doesn't actually take away from the artwork here because it is kind of an empty space. And if anything, it looks like the flames are actually warping around it, so it's kind of a nice touch. This one here is just kind of stamped on his hand, so it's a bit different. The babies are probably the biggest ones here, where you do want to pick these up in shiny if you can. Again, this doesn't really add anything to the artwork. It's just going to be foil because it was a uncommon. You were a common, so yeah, basically the only way to really get these in foil. And that's kind of about it. We've done ourselves like a good hour and a half, nearly 2 hours here. Try to see what but yeah, there's a few you probably want to pick up to like blink out the deck. But yeah, that's it. We're done for today, guys. Thank you for being here. It was a longish stream. It was just more of an information stream going over what's being released. Apparently LM6 is getting its stuff released right now in terms of like information. So hopefully soon enough we'll get to see what that actually is in terms of everything else fully. We've obviously already been told what the deck list is, sorry, the set list is for everything. We already know what the alternates are. So nothing really too new and exciting to just kind of be like out there. But the cards that we know about are actually getting full high quality images now. So that will be the difference. But I've been Gear Swiftly. You guys have been amazing. And thank you for being here. Mwah. Catch you guys soon. I am tired. And I now have a tallish child to go yell at for screaming at me constantly. So let's go back some fingers and some children. See you guys next time. We will try and do some Swiftly versus Swiftly or like some casual card game stuff in the kitchen when we can. But school holidays means loud children and they don't want to go to bed. So yeah, catch you guys soon. Goodbye.